Whoa. Waka. Waka. Whoa, it's Minifigure Illusion reporting from somewhere on Brick Ship Earth. Yeah, I'm here. I'm present. I'm accounted for. We haven't done any live building in a while, so I figured now is the time. Now is the time to do some live building. I've been sitting on this set for a little while, waiting for the time. It's the White House set. I guess you can get in big trouble if you have these Washington, D.C. sets sitting around your house in an unopened box. So I thought I would build this and see what it really looks like. Strategize, if you know what I mean. So yeah, here we are. We're in the dream. We have this nice architecture set. I'm pretty fired up about it. I always like this kind of Americana stuff. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Down with the White House. The Casa Blanca. La Casa Blanca. La Maison Blanche. La Maison Blanche. I think that's what that is. The Casa Blanca, dude. Washington, D.C., USA. So what does it have on the back? It's 18 and a half inches across, 11 inches tall. All right. We're fired up, man. Joe M. Whoa. We're here. We're going to build some White House. We're going to get our White House on. Try to get this Lego scene fired up, man. Fired up in the building, dude. It's actual size. It's the actual size right there. All right, I think we looked at the box. It's a nice box. Per usual, the Lego architecture sets have very nice boxes, just like the expert creator ones do. So we're going to open this up. Boom. Crack the seal. We're going to crack the seal. Kimmy, good evening, Legoer. Ooh, swing. Look at that. Look at the goods in there. Look at the goods. We're good. We're fired up. Joe, Kimmy, myself. Look at that. Look at that nice packaging right there. Number back 4. I'm gonna do some ASMR for you right there. 5, 4, 1, 2. There's the 1. We're looking for the 1. 3. Oh, we got a couple floating pieces. We got some. Oh, you're gonna be canning your own harvest pretty soon. Yeah, I'm gonna crack one open tomorrow. I'm into the canning thing. They all sealed too, which was cool. They all sealed up, so that was a relief. The canning things, it should be pretty basic, right? I don't want to overthink these things too much. All right, here it is. We got the book. We got the book. Let's see. We got any interesting information? The White House Historical Association. Okay. Just a little history about foreign languages. Some info on how to use the tool. Not a lot of data. All right. La Grande Mansion. All right, here we are, man. We've got the, looks like we're going to build the first part of the house right there. That's what we're building first. How many pieces? It's coming in at 1,483 pieces. So it's probably 5 sessions here. I don't know. It's hard for me to go more than an hour chit-chatting and all. So we're going to 1,400 pieces. I got this set like 4 months ago, 3 months ago. And I've been sitting on it, waiting for a good time to do it. And tonight seemed to be that good time. It was all just fired up, doing my patriotic duty, right? Patriot via Lego, dude. Yeah, growing your own food's the way to go, man. Localize your supply chain, right? Make sure that's the whole gig, man. It's funny. I was listening to speaking of making America great again, right? That's they forgot to like make America great. It was a nice slogan, but what were you supposed to do? Oh, you got some good cheap base plates? Yeah, base plates can be expensive. They absolutely can. Yeah, the Make America Great came without instructions. Like grow your own vegetable, get some chickens, that kind of stuff. Learn how to can, like canning. I'm pretty excited about the whole canning thing. I figured you can't go. I think that's why like the first kind of recipes are pretty basic. I don't think you can really go wrong with like relish and stuff, right? It's pickled, so it's pretty safe. I would think. Maybe I'm totally off base with that. I don't know. Well, here we go. Number bag 1. We're gonna get in there. Coming in with the green, with one of these fabulous dark green. Look at that shininess. Shiny new pieces. Unscuffed. Yeah, I ate a bunch of we had a bunch. I grilled up some. I didn't grill up. I baked some. So I got a lot of zucchini right now, right? So I baked up some zucchini and some egg. You know, you cut it into the rounds and then you bread it and then you cook it in some oil. That came out really actually. And I put a little spaghetti marinara sauce on it. And tonight I baked some zucchini and some eggplant in the oven, and I did it with butter, a little spike marinating, spike seasoning powder. Spike's the bomb seasoning powder if you haven't tried that. And so I did that, and then I put some Parmesan on it. I put some Parmesan butter and spike and put those in the oven for like 20 minutes. Came out really good. Like really good. I'm into the so I got 3 kinds of eggplants growing right now. And I got a whole bunch of zucchinis. I'm going to get into the garden tomorrow and get pretty proactive, I think. It's been really hot lately. I'm not much into the whole gardening in the heat, and then the evening comes, and by then it's Al and I have been doing stuff. But look, we're making some sort of fantastic like base. The base. Here we are, and But you know what what's really going in? Canning's next level. It is pretty next level, dude. I have to admit, there's something super. I'm a little nervous about it on one level because, you know, it's one of those things. But then, like, my basic theory is they were doing this stuff back in the day when it wasn't that. It's not like it was super clean back then. So I think it'll be okay. Uh-oh. Where's that? I didn't open that. There we go. The Japanese cucumbers are doing good. My lemon cucumbers are killing it too. The lemon cucumbers are where it's at. I just eat those like apples. But tomorrow I think I'm gonna pickle. I'm gonna make zucchini pickles tomorrow. There's a recipe in the book to do zucchinis like pickles. You just cut them into like pickles and pickle them in there, dude. I'm just kind of fired up on it. So looks like we got the base going. What's the magic piece in the middle? Oh. What do we got going on here? Double stack. A double stacker. I wonder why they got us double stacking. I got to get my glasses on to see. Where do they want that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right. And we got this with this. Interesting. See where this building technique goes. And we surround it with. Is it off? I like. But yeah, so that's the next move, and then I'm gonna slice up a bunch of the pickled cucumbers and make the sandwiches. I'm on the whole like thing of learning how to pickle. I'm gonna go start buying a bunch. Go to the get a bunch of organic food and just pickle it up, dude. I'm convinced that it's probably a good idea to have a bunch of food stashed. Like I figure, I don't even know if it's a cost thing, man. I think it's more like an energy thing. What's up, Tyler? I've never tried this. I'm gonna make some salsa, but my tomato bushes got attacked by something, dude. I went and actually got a couple new tomato bushes, but my tomato bushes got hammered. I think I was just a little slow on I think I got aphids or something, and I was just a little slow. So I'm not there on it, but the salsa's good too. But I think I'm gonna start once I start figuring out the deal. I got no shortage of squash coming. I don't know. What do you get? Like my squash plants are killing it, dude. And it looks like I got some cucumbers finally growing, which is pretty. It's got me kind of stoked. I mean, what are those things called? Cantaloupes. My cantaloupes seem to be coming in. So that's nice. I feel pretty good about that. All right, we're the trim. We're putting the trim around this thing. Trimming it up. Oh, the piece that says the White House right there, printed piece. Printed piece for the White House for the win. There it is. Shazam. Shazam. You know, it's been the route one my wife's super stoked on is like the chamomile tea, dude. Like, and I got to bottle up my lavender tincture. I'm gonna bottle up my lavender tincture. That's my next move. The should do some videos on learning how to pickle, and your whole process would be greatly appreciated. Even documenting mistakes and stuff, it's good to learn from. Yeah, I'm gonna do a follow up on the cans tomorrow. A little short video to show. We'll give it a little test run, and some squash. I think what I'm gonna do with the squash is make soup and then can it. I'm all into the canning thing. If I pulled this off, the canning thing, like I think I'm more nervous than I need to be. Like the things are totally sealed. I don't really know what I'm worried about, but you know, I have to admit I'm a little like, I mean, then I kind of had this weird epiphany about the canning today. I was like, well, it's no different than when you get a jar of something from the supermarket, right? And put it in your cupboard. It's the same thing, dude. So I think I'm just going to relax on it and fully commit to the canning. Botulism. Yeah, but that's, I mean, you're putting boiling, like, that's the thing. Like, you're taking, I don't really get where the botulism would come from unless the seal's broken, right? If they're sealed, you're taking containers that are coming from boiling water and you're putting boiling product in there, and then you're sealing it with the hot cap and then putting it back into boiling water. I think the botulism's only from like broken seals. But you know, if you survive the whole thing and botulism gets you in the end, like, oh well. Right? I made it through all the tyranny and all the chaos, and then then my own canning got me. That's like the irony. I think there's some sort of like twisted like satisfaction maybe in that, is like, you know, I battled them, I survived them, I got past all of it, and then I died at the hand of my own canning mistake. If I'm going to go, I'd rather go that way, right? I'd rather go at the hand of my own mistake than at the hand of tyranny. I don't know. I was watching Ice Age. You guys ever watched the Ice Age Farmer Man? I'll tell you what, Joe M, with the chamomile, make sure your cans and jars are sanitized, sterilized. Yeah, I put the lids in boiling water too, and it just is what it is, dude. I washed everything before, and then I put it in boiling water. I mean, I don't know what else you can do, dude. Like I said, we as human beings, like, we go to the supermarket and buy all sorts of stuff and just don't even worry about it, right? Like, I got like 3 months ago, I got an email from Comico over there, and they were like, oh, we're doing a recall on some black beans, and the seal didn't work right? But that's like, how often does that happen? Where like some seal and you just get it, and you just I think that like half of getting sick from stuff is psychosomatic, man. I think if you're sitting there like paranoid, like it'll get you every time. I mean, you do get sick from stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a denier, dude. I'm just saying. But I feel pretty good about it. I think next time I definitely would do it. So on the chamomile thing, Joe M, I have one chamomile bush, and I keep getting. I'll do a thing about the chamomile tomorrow, Joe M. I'll do a chamomile video for you tomorrow, because I can do that. But I got one. If next year I would grow 5 chamomile bushes, 6 chamomile bushes for round numbers, and you would have more than you could deal with. Like every time I trim them, I get a bunch of flowers. Like I could go out there tonight and harvest like another, it'd probably be like one, tea dunker's worth of the thing. But it's a learning game, right? I grew more than it grew more than I thought it was going to. But yeah, next year I would get more chamomile. Recall from vitamin gummies. That's weird. What could go wrong with those except they had arsenic in them, right? Who knows nowadays? But I don't know. I don't really trip on it that hard. It should be fine. A possible more effective method would be to seal the jars and then put on them in a pressure cooker to make sure the germs are killed and it's sterilized. Yeah. I don't know, man. Boiling's boiling, dude. I mean, that's the thing, is whatever's going to get you sick is inside of would be inside the thing. Like, I'm not that worried about it. If anything, the one mistake, what I would do next time is I think that I don't see, then I go, they didn't. See, this is where I go with it a little bit, right? I love boiling. This is I do that for my kiddos. I do for bottles. Yeah, the boiling, right? This is my take on it, is, and I mentioned it in the video I posted today. Part of me is on the whole, they used to do this back in the day, right? Way before we were super all like hyper paranoid like we are nowadays, right? Like you think in the 1920s, right? The 1920s is still pretty funky out there. But that's where they were doing all their canning and stuff. The canning goes, I mean, how long have they been using bell jars? As long as they've been making glass, right? So the canning thing goes back pretty far. And my take on it is a little bit that, oh, look, they're actually using like old school, like real bricks. As they used to do this back in the day before they had plastic gloves, before they had all this stuff, right? They had soap, water, boiling, like to clean their surfaces. They didn't have a bunch of stuff. So I figured like, I think that it's got to be fairly safe, man. That's my take on it. When I think about when they were doing it, like when you think about it in modern times, you're like, oh my God, did I just like touch that thing the wrong way? I thought like when I was doing it yesterday, like the little thing to get the air bubbles out, I was like, did I just touch that? And then I was like, dude, like if you're getting that crazy like about it, you're so paranoid you're gonna make yourself sick anyhow. That might be a little bit of hubris. I don't know. I'm fired up on it though. I'm officially joined the world of like canning stuff. We actually see what's going on here. We actually building in the frame. Should make sure I'm actually. Antiquitech canning back in the day, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's one of those things I'm pretty excited to like. It was funny, like I was watching like a YouTube video of a lady who was like, you know, because I wanted to like see someone actually do it. And she was like, I'm super stoked that like people are getting back into canning again. And I was like, I didn't even know people weren't into it. Like there's a whole section of for canning stuff at the Chinese military base where I got it. But yeah. And the overhead to get started on it was, I think the little thing with all the gears and the magnets, that was $20. I did have to go get another big pot. Like that's where I bought another big pot to boil in with the rack. That was like $25. And then the jars are like $9 for a 12er, dude. Is it 12? Yeah, $9 for a 12er. So I mean, and then I got some of the other stuff like I was just stoked they had the No, I'm feeling pretty good about it. We're gonna get into more. I'm kind of getting into a whole new. When humans began agriculture, they had to figure out how not only to secure their harvest but also preserve them. Canning and other preservation methods were used. Yeah, totally. It's like childbirth. Boiling water as long as the tops pop down, that's it, dude. They were all sealed. I did the test today. You got to let them sit for 24 hours. They were all on there, dude. They were all slightly concave. It was sort of hard to tell because I used the smaller jars, but I think they're all locked and loaded, man. Yeah. Joining the ranks of the canning, dude. People like that, dude. Stashi's in the house, dude. Yeah. Yeah, you don't really realize that like the canning thing. I gotta start breaking out the sewing machine again to get in the whole trip going. It was funny. I was showing Owl a picture of a shirt I made him. Like I made him that dinosaur shirt when he was a little guy. He never wanted to wear it. And he was looking at it in the pictures. He's like, dude, that shirt's rad. We want. I go, I already did. And you wouldn't wear it, dude. How times change, right? I will not. I am pretty handy with the sewing machine. I've got to start. That's something I probably should get back into. I've been like a little lost, man, like everybody else. I think as much as I don't think I'm lost, I think I've been a little lost. Little adrift, so to speak. The canning thing's got me sort of fired up again. Like, oh, rad. So we're going to do that tomorrow. We're going to make zucchini pickles. That's tomorrow's canning mission, is the zucchini pickles. Because you can only eat so much zucchini, dude. But the weird thing is like when it's pickled, it's pickled. I gotta figure out how to like. I probably should get a dehydrator too. I used to have a dehydrator back in the day. I used to be way into dehydrating stuff. But, you know, whatevs, man. Look at that. We're building the White House. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like we should be playing Hail to the Chief or something. What is it? It'd be rad if there would be a little secret build inside of the White House that you couldn't see, but you would know it's there, right? They sometimes do that. We'll see if we get one out of this. The secret build. Ooh, a lot of busy work coming up here. Some stacking going on. Some 3 stacks. Oof. Let's see how many. Okay, how many? I got to do 4 of those. Okay, 4 3 stacks. Ching ching ching. Yeah, homeschooling, pit canning. We're going back to the 20s here. I feel like I'm in an episode of Where the Red Fern Grows, dude. I've been reading Owl Where the Red Fern Grows lately. That's why an old American classic. Where the Red Fern Grows. They were probably canning stuff. Whoa, dude. Oh no. Oh, there it is. It all came together, dude. All came together. So it looks like we're making some windows here. Oh. Boom, boom, boom. Wait a second. I'm doing something wrong. There it is. Yeah, got it. Got it. Figuring it out. Legoing a White House. Legoing the White House because, you know, I'm a subversive, dude. At any moment, I should be expecting the 1920s Lego set, dude. You're going to pickle your chicken's eggs. That's the next thing, is figuring out how to do the store the eggs. That's my next one. I just want to store a bunch of eggs just to have them on like standby. I don't even care if I grew them myself. I'm more into the canning thing just to build up my own stash of emergency supplies, man. Barter system, right? Goods and services. So today, do you want to hear a crazy chicken story today, dude? I got some chicken homesteading. Pickled eggs are pretty good. Yeah. We're doing, dude, the hottest is we're homesteading in the suburbs, dude. We're literally homesteading in the suburbs. Like I gotta stash the chickens tomorrow for the gardeners to come over and like do the backyard, dude. I've been holding them off for a while, but I kind of gotta let them in. I don't want to get in. Yeah. So we're homesteading in suburbia. As classic as that may sound, it's the truth. It's what we're doing. So okay, so I got a good a story about the chickens for you today. So there's been so we have we have the red chicken Kevin, and then we had a gray one, Levi, right? And Levi 1.0 just disappeared one day, right? Just gone. Figured it was a hawk or something, an owl or hawk or something. So like a couple days ago, I started noticing this hawk hanging out over on the neighbor's roof, right? I'm like, I see you, dude. He's been hanging out there. But the chickens are big, dude, now, right? So today, so you could hear the hawk in the tree. Like we have the one tree here. So there's the hawk was sitting in the tree. And I went out there. I was like, oh, Al, check out the hawk. Oh, look at how beautiful the hawk is. You know what I mean? Like standard stuff. Like check out the hawk. Like it's right there. Like right there. You could just like totally check it out, which was super cool. Whatever, I know what he's up to, but I'm like, dude, the chickens are big. The chickens are bigger than the hawk, dude, pretty much, right? So all of a sudden, I'm sitting in we're looking at the chicken. We come back in the house. All of a sudden, the chickens were there, and all of a sudden, I just see the hawk like come down and dive bomb Levi the chicken, right? And it swoops up, and then I see Mike Kitty. Mike, the mini puma, fully just comes barging over and like bird dogs the thing. It's like, wow, wow, and did a standoff with the hawk. The hawk and Mike were like standing up because the hawk was like on our rain gutter, like right there. It was kind of rad. It was like a full real episode of National Geographic going on. And so Mike was on super duty with the chickens, but it was like what was super cool about it was Mike guards the chickens, dude. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Mike's that rad. He was fully guarded. Here, I got to get the power cord. I'm about to run out of power. I'll be right back. Alrighty, and power. There we go. But it's funny, like Mike keeps full tabs of the chickens and like guards them. And Mike said, yeah, Mike's the bomb, dude. Like I saw Mike in like full protecting the chickens mode today. Like the chickens being dumb. They really are pretty dumb. They had no idea really like what was going on because they were just, doing their chicken thing. But Mike was on duty, dude. And then eventually I think the hawk eventually realized between Mike and the size of the chickens, like it's game over, dude. Because the chickens are big, dude. They're not small. Well, look at this trippy little feature. Let's see. What is this trippy little feature I'm putting together right here? Dude, more genius building by Lego, dude. Look at that. Look at that. Kids, look at that. We're building the sidewall there. Look at that window. That's kind of cool. The architecture vibe. I'm into that. But yeah, it was a whole thing. I thought I was just tripping on how camouflaged the hawk really was with the tree it was sitting in. Like amazingly so. And then I was sort of like, so I'm looking at the camouflage of this hawk sitting in the tree, figuring out if it can eat our chicken or not. And I'm more marveling at like its camouflage, right? And the reason I was tripping so hard on its camouflage was I was like, the only way you could explain that it's camouflage perfectly blended, because if you were to know what you were looking at, you wouldn't have been able to see this hawk. It blended into our tree perfectly with its markings. And I was like, how do you explain that? Like that the right feathers know where to grow to like blend in with the tree bark. And I was like, there's just more proof of God's existence, like camouflage markings of a hawk that blend perfectly into some random tree in our backyard. I was like tripping on it, actually. Like I was super impressed with it. Like I was like, wow, look at that. Like how is like I had a whole like spiritual thing about God and the camouflage and just the ability of this hawk to blend in on the tree branch. I mean, he wasn't hiding from Mike, that's for sure. He was not hiding from Mike, but it was still, oh, whoa, look at how that worked. Look at that, dude. The guy made that arched window. Oh, that's pretty impressive. That's impressive. Wow, look at that. Look at that, dude. Here, you can be impressed like that. So look, there's the square thing, and then look, it just slips over there, over that perfectly arched window. Wow, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we stay out all that kind of stuff here, Joe. No big deal, dude. Oh, was asking. Well, yeah, we stay out all that here. We're more family friendly content over here. Stay away from the drama. I got some though. I kind of having some epiphanies about some stuff. But again, I think my epiphanies, like if you were to take that, Joe M, like, right, like I don't know what you're asking. Appreciate you retracting that, dude. But it really is the canning thing. Like it's this one step where I realized that like all these things, like canning empowered me today or yesterday when I did that video, right? Like it empowered me on a certain level I didn't really see coming. Like I was sort of like on the canning thing is like, all right, man, I'm just gonna like, increase my options. And then I did it and I was like, wait a minute, like I can grow way more food now. I mean, that was part of the problem with, the garden thing is, I wonder what that's from. Is I could only eat so much food, so I wouldn't grow that much. But now that I know how to can stuff, I'm like, dude, I definitely grow my crops different next year, even with limited space. Because now that I know I can like store them better, it really was one of those things of like whatever's going on. It's all really about like the empowerment now. Like I don't know what else is going on like on a level because I don't think it matters anymore. I just know that every step I've made lately, we're like, I do go back to the 1920s sort of technology, like the Antiquitech. The more I realize how much power I have as a human being. You know, like it's easy to like sort of, I don't know. It's really kind of interesting. Like the ability to like be able to preserve your own food really did change something. And knowing how to like sew, like I can make my own clothes with the sewing machine. I could even do it with one of those foot powered ones. You know what I mean? Like I know how to sew. Like that's like a skill a lot of people do not have, unfortunately. Like I know how to use a sewing machine. Like, I do know how, like now I'm learning how to can. Like homeschooling, like learning how to educate my child has been hugely empowering, because I've realized it's sort of what like Stassi was saying, you know, with the with birthing your children, right? You discover that there's a sort of underlying technology to it, like an antiquitech, if you will. And the more I get involved with educating Owl, the more I realize that it's intuitive. It's not even. So I was sitting there the other day, right? At this point, I've pretty much taught him how to read and write and do math. He got a little bit of help at school last year, but I was sitting there and we're doing word problems, you know, like I got him the word problems. So we're doing word problems and he's reading the word problems, right? And I'm watching him do it. And I'm tripping on the fact, I'm like, how did I teach him how to read? Right? Like I was like, how did I teach him how to read? Like we're just working in some books together. Him and I, we sit down, we do it. I read with them, but like it's him. It's not me. I just show up for it. It's fascinating in that sense. If you get what I'm saying, is it doesn't have anything to do with me. Like when you really see it, like schools are stupid. And I don't mean in the sense of like the Little House on the Prairie style, but I mean in that sense of like, yeah, it's like when you really see it, you're like, oh my goodness, like I thought it was this like super daunting like task. And then you realize that it's not that daunting of a task because it's intuitive. It's part of like, it's no different than growing a plant. You just put the seed in the dirt and you add water and you kind of mess with it a little bit here and there to kind of keep it going. And you prune some leaves and tie it to a stick so it doesn't fall over and all of that kind of stuff. But you realize that one of the big myths that our society is perpetrated on parents is that we need the public education system. And then you realize you don't. Like you don't need the public education system. It trips me out because we don't, the concept, all right, the concept of me dumping off. So Owl's already, so he's just finished kindergarten, right? Kindergarten. He's already doing second grade math and writing and all that stuff. Like we're already in the second grade books, right? I couldn't imagine now subjecting my son to wasting an entire school day to do whatever. That I don't know what they do at school, right? I don't know. Like I couldn't imagine like wasting his time by sending him to sit in a classroom to learn when he can do it. Like we spend I don't even want to try to like sound like it. So we spend a half an hour a day, dude. Like, yeah, we try to get it like pretty daily, but like we spend about a half an hour a day, maybe an hour. Sometimes if he's really feeling frisky, because there's, all right, this is the thing that I didn't see coming. They're super self-motivated. Like Owl gets up in the morning and he's like, I'm going to do some math right now. And he breaks out his like math book and does like a couple pages and like, all right, now I'm going to do some art. It really is rather trippy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's just that thing of like, I think it's like every one of these things we realize is like, I remember I worked with this girl. I was managing this dude ranch in Pennsylvania, and I was working with this girl, right? She was the, secretary, bookkeeper. She did all this like office stuff, like the office manager, right? And she really like made her job seem super complicated. Like where you were like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine doing her job, dude. Like, wow, dude, this chick's like handles a lot, like the whole thing. Like we would be lost without her type of deal, right? And then the day came up where like, I don't know, she got fired or quit or something like that. And so we had to like figure out her job. And then we realized like she made her job extra complicated to seem valuable, extra valuable to the squad, right? And I think that a lot of this stuff right now is our society has made itself seem so valuable and so complicated. And then the minute you pull back the curtain, you're like, what do I need you guys for? Like, I don't need you to educate my children. That's for sure. I don't need you to can my food. Like I can grow my own food. Like I get it. It's all this thing. But now that we learned over the last year and a half of like, it's very just, no, I'm not even nearly done, dude. I'm bag one, dude. Not even close. Well, look at this. So I built this thing, right? And it's going to be this thing in the back here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Back of the White House or front. I guess that's the front of the White House. But what I'm getting at is every step along the way recently, I thought that it was going to be a lot harder than it was. And I realized that again, going back to the like homeschooling, I was worried that Owl wouldn't be into it. But then you find out that they're totally into educating themselves. Like the reason they don't seem into it is like, who would want to go sit in a desk all day? Like who would want to do that? Especially with a bunch of other like low frequency children. Like you don't think about that either. It's like, imagine, like that's where I've gotten real like hip to the thing, like on a certain level is I'm super grateful over the last year to realize all the children that I wouldn't want to put my son around. And I don't mean like diversity and like anything like that. I mean just energy wise. Like you realize now that a lot of these children have really lame parents. It's super obvious now, right? You can just see them like walking around the streets. They have like super paranoid, lame, status quo parents, right? And I think that travels right into the child's energy field. And so what I know now is so you send your child to public school, right? Because like that's what you're supposed to do, dude. That's like what we do, dude, right? And then you realize that, well, energetically speaking, how many of those other children are taxing your child's like desire to learn? Like that's more where I've started to realize is like, oh, I'm just stoked. No wonder Al's fired up. He doesn't have anybody pulling him down, right? There's no kid, like there's no kid sitting next to him while he's learning who's has like lame parents that are abusing him, ignoring him, setting him in front of TV. Like imagine Owl trying to learn and sitting next to a child that watches TV all day, right? Talk about like one child being brought down by the other child's, thing. And I whatever, you got to do whatever. But what I'm getting at is like Owl's pumped to learn things. The other day we were doing some math thing, and he was struggling for a minute, and then he got super into it, and he was so fired up on it, dude. He felt like he went to bed. He's like, what's the next book we're going to do? And can we do this? And can we do that? And like, you could see his brain just firing, dude. And I was like, man, I wouldn't want to miss that. So it's like the canning thing. It's very much this canning and sewing, and it's just this thing you just don't know, because you're like, it was such a leap to be like, all right, we're doing this thing, like, okay, like, and you worry to a certain degree, like, can I do this? Can I do this thing? And then you start to do it, and you're like, oh, it's not even me that's doing it. It's natural. It's totally natural to like, for a child to want to learn. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped on this whole thing. I think that we're just making this huge leap forward. It's so weird. It's like, and it makes total sense now that I'm talking about it. Like now that I'm actually articulating this with you as I build this Lego White House, it makes total sense that the way to leap forward, technologically speaking, is to sort of leap backwards. I never was that into the steampunk thing. I always thought steampunk was kind of stupid. And I get why people were into it. It's the same sort of thing. It's like, no, we need to go like backwards to go forward. And now I sort of get where they were coming, the thing comes from. I don't really know much about steampunk, but you get what I'm saying is the like, I feel like, it's funny talking right now about it. I feel more closer to a solution now that I'm talking about like canning and sewing and doing all this stuff than I thought I would have, if that makes any sense. Like now that we've seen how dumb the outer space thing is, I think that oh, look at that. That's pretty neat, dude. Look at that, dude. That's pretty cool, man. Sideways build. Is there an actual homeschooling board? No, dude. I mean, you can join homeschooling groups. You can get like join things to get curriculum. You literally like, it's so basic. You fill out some forms and you're free. When you realize like what homeschooling offers you, Justin, you realize that you've actually been strapping yourself to control. Pretty much you fill out this affidavit online that you're going to handle all this stuff, and it's up to you. I mean, I suppose that at some time they could come in and like, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like that. It's that basic. Did you literally fill out this thing, form your own homeschool, send it to the state? They suggest you notify your school district. There's tax credits. There's the whole. Also, it's way more empowering than I ever thought. Like the fact that what I've learned over the last couple months gearing up for this fall to like truly be a homeschooling parent is that sending your children to public school is the most disempowering, disenfranchising thing you could possibly do. Like I'll make some videos about it because like I'm just about ready to form the fill out all the paperwork. We're gonna do a lot of it on this channel about like how to free yourself. I can only speak for California. California, ironically, is like one of the easiest states to like homeschool in too. Go figure, right? Like, I think it's that thing where they just not that many people were into it because everybody's so indoctrinated out here that it's sort of like this open back door to get out of the system, dude. And I get it. Like, I get it. But yeah, the homeschooling thing has really just opened my eyes to my own perception of what it looked like, what freedom is, right? And again, it has nothing to do with anything except my own being willing to accept my own personal responsibility. Like, yeah, accepting my own personal responsibility for educating my child. It seems super overwhelming and daunting, but now that I'm doing it, now that we're in, dude, today he was asking me about what the dimensions, what 5 dimensions means. And I had my whiteboard and I was drawing like, a cube and then an arrow for time. And like, it's just like that. You realize that you don't need the system, and they teach your children dumb stuff anyhow, dude. I mean, reading and writing and arithmetic. Like the thing that I debate is like, am I going to teach them to do cursive? I don't really see the point, but that's like one of those things I'm debating, like cursive. The history things got me jammed up too. It's all that matters. Yeah. The history things got me a little jammed up. Like I don't really know what to do about the history thing. Because I know that most of it is, so I got to teach him how to critically think. I got to teach him how to ask the questions. You know what I mean? I can't teach him like, oh, this is like at 1870, like, yeah, I want to teach him about the Magna Carta and all these things, but I also want him to ask, like, I don't want to indoctrinate. So it's very, and I don't want to indoctrinate the other way either, like unindoctrinate, indoctrination, like that's part of like the thing that's going on now is like, don't teach them to not think it's very interesting. It's a lost art. Yeah, it's rad. I'm super stoked. So, well, that was all right. We did an hour. We got number bag done. So this is the front of or is that the back house? This looks like this is the beginning. No, this is the back of the White House. That's the back of the White House. It looks like. I guess there's a little porch in the back. No wonder the federal government's super annoyed about Lego. Like, oh yeah, there's a porch in the back. Huh? Who knew? I didn't know. I do now. It's all so stupid. It's all so stupid. All right. Hey, thanks for being here. If you want to support this channel and you like what's going on, you can go to PayPal. You can go to you can send us 30765 PCH number 523 Malibu, California 90265. I think there's links for crypto, all that kind of stuff. There's an Etsy link if you want to get some shirts and all that kind of good stuff. But generally here, we're just clicking bricks. If you could send this around, maybe we get this channel monetized, but we don't care. This is our just own little personal world. We hang out and click bricks. So anyway, this is the minifigure illusion. Shwaka, signing off from somewhere on Brick Ship Earth. Keep on clicking bricks and stay positive, stay fired up, and tick-tack it, baby. All right, it's the illusion signing off.